So, today we're going to look at how to be successful at interviews. This session is going to cover the different types of interviews, how to prepare for an interview, the STAR technique and how to use it effectively, and we're briefly going to cover some of the more unusual interview questions and how you might answer those. A few key things to remember about interviews. This is your chance to prove you are the right person for the job, show how you meet the role requirements, find out more about the organisation and the role, and decide if you are a good fit for the role. Remember, this is a two-way process, and it is just as much about you deciding if the company and role are right for you as it is them deciding if you are right for them. There are several different types of interview you may encounter. You may have a one-to-one interview with yourself and one interviewer. You may have a panel interview with several different people. Your interview may be via telephone or Skype. You could be asked to do a video interview where you record your answers to questions and there is no physical interviewer present. Any of these types of interviews could ask you sequential, technical, strengths-based or competency-based questions and could be asked in a formal or informal manner. You may also find that some interviews are followed by an assessment centre or a part of an assessment centre. The key is preparation. You need to do some research into three key areas for your interview. Firstly, the job. Read back through the job description and the person specification. Do you fully understand the role that you have applied for? Secondly, the company. What do they do? Why do you want to work for them? Do you understand where this role fits in? Are there any major developments in the industry that could impact them? All of these things need to be researched. And finally, yourself. What are your key skills? What experiences have you had that are relevant to the role, and why are you a good fit? Get on social media. What are they putting out there for the public to see? What are their social media headlines, good news stories, or industry developments? Social media accounts tend to be updated more frequently than a website, so they are a great place to find the most up-to-date and positive information on the company you're about to go and interview with. Reanalysing the job description is key when you are preparing for an interview. What are the typical activities listed? What key skills do you need in order to successfully undertake that activity? And what evidence do you have from past experiences that you can use as an example? Using a table like shown on the slide is a really easy way to break down each activity with the knowledge and skills required, and finally, how you're going to evidence that when asked in an interview. Also, don't forget to look at the person specification. Sometimes they will tell you here how they will be assessing each criteria. This can give you a great indication of what questions might actually come up in your interview. Questions in an interview will usually focus on four main areas: you, the job, the company or industry, and a set of competencies. Some typical questions you may be asked will focus on telling them about specific times when you have demonstrated a skill, why you want to work for them, what you would do in a certain situation, what you feel are your strengths to bring to the role, what you know about the industry, what specific technical skills you have that are relevant to the position, what you know about the company, and what makes you the right fit for this particular job. Here we have some of the reasons why employers reject candidates at interview. They didn't create a good impression or sell themselves effectively. They couldn't communicate and didn't express their motivation or potential fully enough. A lack of confidence and self-awareness. Being confident in your abilities to do the job and making it clear to them that you know that you could do the job are key in an interview. Not using examples or evidence is a big no-no in an interview. Just saying you could do something doesn't mean very much to an organisation. They want to know about a time when you have already done this. And finally, not knowing enough about the organisation. One of the most common interview questions asked is, why do you want to work for us? And what do you know about us? You need to be prepared for this. You can't just say you have applied because you are looking for a graduate job anywhere and they are going to pay you. Think bigger. This is why research is so important. Yes, those may be the reasons why you initially applied, but conducting some research will give you the knowledge to give them a more impressive and in-depth answer. Our top interview tip is to use the STAR technique. This consists of 4 key sections: situation, task, action, and result. Situation. Explain where you were working, studying, or volunteering. Task. Clearly outline what you were trying to achieve. Action. Clearly explain how and why you did something in a particular way. This section should be 50 to 70% of your total answer. Result. This should be positive. It can be about something you learned, a good grade, increased efficiency, positive feedback, and so on. It is really important not to forget the result. As the example here shows, the action section is the most important section and should focus on how you individually demonstrated a skill. Now let's have a look at some of the more unusual interview questions that might come up. An article published by The Independent in 2016 stated that these were the top 10 toughest interview questions people had experienced based on information from Glassdoor. Let's have a look through some of these questions. Firstly, the top shop question: which magic power would you like to have? What are they trying to ask by this question? Is there a different meaning behind this? Then you look down at things like BT question: how many people born in 2013 were named Gary? There's no way that you're going to know the actual answer to this question, so they're probably looking here more at your thought process. How would you feel if you were asked any of these questions in an interview? When you are answering these type of questions, the key thing is not to panic and to take your time. They are all about problem solving, critical thinking, and creativity. They're looking for a real answer and an explanation. Don't give them a one-word answer or say that you don't know. Think about what they are asking. Can you find any connection to the job? Explain how you have come to your answer. Sometimes it isn't about the actual answer, but the thought process behind how you got there. If you are really at a loss as to how to answer, then break the question down and try and answer at least one part of the question. First impressions count. So there are some things that you can do to send the right message before you even speak in an interview. Maintain eye contact. You don't have to stare, as that makes people uncomfortable, but try and look at the people on the panel when you are answering a question. Sit straight with your head up, don't slouch or cross your arms. Smile. This puts everyone at ease and shows an awful lot about your personality. Try not to be carrying a mountain of bags and clutter to an interview. Don't go on a shopping spree before heading there. Only take what you absolutely need. Make sure it is easily accessible, as you don't want to be rifling through a bag for your notes or your USB when you get into the interview room. Wear comfortable clothes. Not sweatpants or a tracksuit and trainers. You still need to look professional, but think about wearing something that feels like you, while still giving the professional vibe. You can show a lot of your personality by what you wear to an interview. There usually comes a time at the end of every interview when the panel asks you if there is anything you want to ask them. Try and have some questions prepared. Topics that are good tend to focus on 3 key areas: your needs, the company, and the next steps. You could ask them what the opportunities for training and development are within the role. Has anything recently happened in the sector, or has something been announced for the future of the industry which could impact the organisation? Ask how they see the company being affected by this. Ask about the next steps after the interview. How long until you hear the outcome, and when are they looking for the role to start? You can ask specific questions about the role. Where do they see the role progressing? If you are in a panel interview, You could ask each person what they see as the key aspect of the role. The key thing here is don't ask them something which could easily have been researched on their website or social media pages. In conclusion, the key to success is to prepare and practice. Research, research, research. Find out as much as you can about the interview before you go. Who is on the panel? Will you need to do a presentation? Research the role and the company and remind yourself of your own key skills. Book a mock interview through the Careers and Employability service or use our interview simulator, which is accessed through My Career Plus. Remember to stay positive. You are through to the interview stage, which is a great achievement. There will be many other applicants who never even got this far. So, this session has covered types of interviews, preparing for an interview, using the STAR technique effectively, a little on unusual interview questions and how to answer them, and lastly, a few helpful hints and tips. The rest is up to you. For further advice and support, please check out all of our resources on the Careers and Employability Service website.